we go. It is a Monday. Live in Los Angeles, it's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Live right here on FS1, Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio. You know, 2 weeks ago, we were just rolling in L.A., getting all cocky about the Dodgers and Lakers. This morning, it's just a tire fire. The Dodgers are a mess. The Lakers are falling apart. You know, I said this last week with LeBron James, is that everywhere he goes, you're kind of running from a problem. Like he ran from Cleveland, they couldn't get me a star. Then he goes to Miami, and he left because they were getting old. And then he comes to Los Angeles, and he gets old, and Anthony Davis is hurt a lot. Like, in the NBA, there's a reason that LeBron keeps moving around and finding the same problems, is that is the NBA. You know, a lot of the guys that are big, Kevin Durant, it's not natural for anybody to be 7'1" or 7 feet. That's a unique body type. Those players get hurt a lot. Kevin Love got hurt. Dwayne Wade got older, got hurt. Kyrie Irving's a little flaky. Some of your NBA stars are, you know, unique personalities. So you can run around this league. The reality is, I've always defended LeBron. Listen, Cleveland couldn't get him another star. Miami, that team aged very quickly. Los Angeles, I get that LeBron is ticked off this year. He got a short, off season. He's not in a good mood. I just think LeBron, with his son here in town, Bronny, he's just going to stay here. Business is so good. But in this league, in the NFL, it's not like this. You can leave dysfunction, go to function, and be there forever. Like, it's not that way in the NBA. It is, greatness is very fleeting. The Patriots were a dynasty for 20 years. There's never even been, Jordan quit the Bulls twice. That doesn't work that way in the NBA. Greatness is fleeting. Dysfunction is right around the corner. Injuries are dysfunction around the corner. Alex Curry is, of course, joining me on a Monday. Joy Taylor, I'm told, is back tomorrow. It's great to have you in.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's fun being here.
Yep, 15 minutes. Jim Jackson stops by. 3-word game. Coaching hires, free agency, the draft is over. 3-word game will sum up every AFC team today, NFC tomorrow in 3 words. Start with this. So I watched the Knicks Clippers yesterday. Wildly entertaining game. Not an offensive fireworks show, though. Derrick Rose and the Knicks take down the Clippers. And listen, the Knicks are not going to win a title this year, but I think the franchise finally turning the corner and returning to relevancy. The New York Knicks, kind of a directionless mess forever, have a basketball team everybody now likes. It's a band of overachievers. And they were on a West Coast road swing, 5th West Coast game. So they're kind of weary and tired. And you had the well-rested Clippers. Everybody was playing that mattered. Kawhi and Paul George, they had 2 days off. So my feeling was going into the game is, you're going to have a Clippers team rested with a bunch of energy, national TV game. But I think, the Knicks will fight for a while, but they're tired. Nope, that's not what happened. Nope, the Knicks fell behind 10-1, were often behind, and just kept fighting and outworked and outplayed and outdefended the Clippers in Los Angeles and won. And Julius Randle didn't play particularly great. This was about Reggie Bullock. This was about defense. This was about Derrick Rose. And I got to tell you, 2 things jumped out to me. First time in 25 years, the Knicks have a future because they have a direction. Okay, it's not just, hey, we got a bunch of cap space. Hey, we're going to land this glamorous free agent. Yeah, that never happens. This is actually a real team, a band of overachievers. They play real defense. They play really hard. There's about 7 guys that can give them somewhere between 12 and 18 points a night. They have an excellent head coach. And that's the second thing, is that they are not a championship team this year and maybe not next year. They're not. Expectations. Be realistic. This is what hurts organizations that aren't winning for a long time. They get unrealistic. Cleveland Brown fans are like, Super Bowl or bust. Cleveland's probably not going to win a Super Bowl. In fact, I'm going to go with they're not. But they're a playoff team. They can win playoff games. The Knicks are a playoff team. They can win a playoff series. But they don't have enough offense on a nightly basis to be a championship team. Also, one of the great advantages of the Knicks is they play their ass off. They play hard. That wins a lot of games in the regular season. But everybody in the playoff plays hard. And so that equals out. You need talent. Brooklyn's going to play hard in the playoffs. Lakers going to play hard in the playoffs. These star-studded teams, they take nights off. They're not energized. I mean, they call Rajon Rondo playoff Rondo. He plays hard when the lights are on. But it doesn't matter to me because the Knicks now have a direction. It's so much easier in life to get somewhere when you actually point to something and you're going somewhere. And it's not just that the Knicks have been bad. They've never stood for anything in recent years. What are they? They're not good at really anything in particular. What is the foundation of the house? What is it? The Knicks have it. Play real defense. They're very coachable. You get maximum effort every night. That is not a championship team, but it's a 45-win team in the regular season, and that in the East can get you a 4 or 5 seed, and they are absolutely good enough to win a playoff series. They just lack offensive firepower. But, you know, it's funny. For all the glamour and the wealth and the stars of New York, if you really go back to the history of New York Knicks basketball, and when I was a kid, the first time I started watching sports was like 1971, 1972. The 2 championships for the Knicks came in 1970 and 73, both against the Lakers with Jerry West. The Lakers were known as flashy and offensive. The Knicks were all about defense. Walt Frazier, still a broadcaster, was a 7-time All-NBA defender. They were about defense. And everybody always thinks New York is flashy. That's not about it. That's not what it's about. Even Syracuse basketball, the most popular college team in New York now, is about that zone defense that Boeheim plays. New Yorkers like their teams tough. The New York Giants Super Bowls have really never been about offense. They've been about defense. Joe Namath is one of the only, offensive-driven New York championship teams. And when you really look, Mariano Rivera, the closer. They don't win any of those World Series under Torrey without Mariano Rivera, the closer. And so New York's all flashy, but the Knicks won with defense over the flashier Lakers. Pat Riley's teams were all about defense, and this team is all about defense and effort. It just fits New York. I've said this before. It's not a coincidence that every great Laker team starts with offense. Wilt, Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, those teams won like 33 straight in the 70s at one point. Magic and Kareem, Shaq and Kobe. That's really what they're about. Last year was weird. It was kind of about defense and AD and Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee and size. It was such a weird Laker championship. But again, it was a pandemic year. It was a weird year. The Detroit Pistons, every time they've won, it's been about defense. You kind of mirror your city. And if you go back and look at Knicks basketball, it's always been defense and tough and effort and Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley and Walt Frazier, and that's what this team is. They're not that gifted. Derrick Rose is kind of reinventing himself. He played great yesterday. Julius Randle is a max effort guy, not flashy, shoots threes better than he used to, but in a mathematical driven league now where threes beat twos, Lakers bailed on him. Knicks said, okay, what else? We're not landing the stars we want. He's been great. They have R.J. Barrett. Reggie Bullock's a defender who plays hard. This is a classic Knicks team. They stand for something. They are something. They're good at something. What a joy to watch them play. Not a championship team. Don't go nuts. Don't reach and overpay Randall. Don't reach for a injury-riddled star. That's not what you are. You're not Brooklyn offensively. You're not. That's not what you are. Don't get silly. Don't be the Browns. Don't make a big reach and overpay. Your foundation is excellent. You play defense. You're well coached. You play hard. You're overachievers. And that has, frankly, in New York, been the recipe for winning championships. It's Willis Reed hobbling on the court. It's the Knicks tackling Michael Jordan. It's a fun watch. They're not pretty. They're not glamorous. They're not that vertical, but it's a great watch. All right, I saw this yesterday. The Cleveland Browns will not be trying to trade for Aaron